Greetings, beautiful souls. You are welcome once again for a very important short message that is depending with how you choose to perceive it. And this time round, I will talk about history's giants and why their dreams were considered unrealistic nonsense. Be my guest. Now, the greatest individuals in our history were unwaveringly committed to a future destiny without any need for immediate feedback from the environment. And to be honest, the environment will always do more of discouraging new beginnings with lots of passion. And to take a keen look at it, we are doing just the same today by ignoring whatever God is presenting to us from people we either consider unworthy for. We are fond of only relying on the mainstream. And to be honest with you, many wait to hear messages from the officials they've known as spiritual teachers and turning a blind eye to those they label as outcasts. One truth will be rejected if it comes from those considered not qualified, but after a given time, if the same truth is given by the accepted leaders, it's acceptable with a blink of an eye. We are not dynamic, so to speak. But then, the great giants always push narratives that are unpleasant for many to accept, and most people will never understand, or rather, will fight anything that challenges their set beliefs, thus labeling messengers as being insane. Take, for instance, Henry Ford. He came up with a model of the Ford car, probably the first car or an invention. But in those times, he was almost imprisoned for harboring insane ideas as those around him thought of him. I will not go into details of his encounter, for that's your part to do research, as I did mine. But then, look around you now. We all bought cars. We all need to own one. Human nature is to treat something meaningful with lots of contempt, until in a future date whereby it will be cherished obsessively. Now, for the great minds in the past, it didn't matter to them if they hadn't yet received any sensory indication or physical evidence of the change they wanted. They must have reminded themselves daily of the reality they were focused upon. Their minds were ahead of their present environment because their environment no longer controlled their thinking. Truly, they were ahead of their time. Remember, some people will reject knowledge just because it came from you and not from their favorite celebrity. Sad part is, those renowned significants will never share that very knowledge with them, which makes them dwarfs in that area of knowledge. Another fundamental element shared by each of these celebrated beings was that they were clear in their minds about exactly what they wanted to happen. Remember, we leave the how to a greater mind, and they must have known this. Now, some in their day might have called them unrealistic. In fact, they were completely unrealistic, and so were their dreams. The event they were embracing in thought, action, and emotion was not realistic because the reality had not yet occurred or manifested. The ignorant and the cynical might also have said their vision was nonsense, and such naysayers would have been right. A vision of future reality was nonsense. It existed in a reality beyond the senses. Many are always fond of ignoring any form of new ways of life, but once the visions are made manifest, those that presented it are considered profoundly virtuous. You can confirm this with the highly adored character, Jesus the Christ. He was rejected while alive, as you all know, but now you know what. When one holds a dream independent of the environment, that's greatness. Overcoming the environment is inextricably linked with overcoming the body and time. See, when you become your authentic self, you are not swayed by what is happening in the outer world or your environment. You don't worry about how you feel about the snobs and withdrawal of many from what you do. You wouldn't care how long it will take to realize the dream of freedom. You simply know that all of the elements of scorn and ridicule will sooner or later bend to your intentions. For all of the giants in history, is it possible that their ideas were thriving in the laboratory of their minds to such an extent that to their brains it was as though the experience had already happened? Can you too change who you are by thought alone? Yes, of course. Absolutely. You just need to shift your thinking. Now, lovely people, many will ridicule you and treat you with lots of contempt. You will get strong opposition from the very closest people in your life, for they are stuck in the matrix. This is not something new. It has been happening each and every time. Family members going against those that stand out for the truth. But have it in mind that you were born of or manifested at the location you are in, and in this time in life, for a great purpose, to change the frequency of that exact place after waking up against the normal ways upheld there. You see, humans are wired to fear the unknown and label it demonic, and at the same time want to see what comes out of it. This way, if you continue going, they will get to see the sense in it and you will help in raising their frequencies. They will take their time to applaud you and only do so when they find that a large audience is behind you. They are hive minded to observe. All in all, that's what it is. Doesn't matter how people react. Keep pushing for what your purpose is. For me, it does not matter if I were to stand alone. God has allowed me to go through situations of training to withstand abandonment. And thus, I reached a level whereby it doesn't scare me a bit to stand alone. It will be beneficial to a few people in the present time and those in the future who will get the point sometimes as people seem to be. People will come to understand what you are advocating for when you are long gone, like they do about Jesus Christ. Keep going. You are here for a significant reason, to plant meaningful seeds in the gardens of the open minded. And with much said, thank you for your precious time and hoping you have shaken your rigidity to a complete turnaround from its holding you, I can say, to its rigidity. This side of life, all I can say is love and light. Thank you.